But the contribution margin, I mean, remember, us accountants, we are not very creative at naming things. So what is in the contribution margin ratio? Contribution margin. What is in the variable cost ratio? Variable cost. Ratios, you're not going to have to know a lot of them, but you got to know a few. And more often than not, what's in the denominator of a ratio? A big number. Revenue, assets, total equity. Those tend to be the numbers that are in the denominator. And so big number. So the variable cost ratio is variable costs over a big number. The biggest number on the income statement is revenue. Contribution margin has contribution margin ratio has the contribution margin in it. And another big number is the denominator. The biggest number on the income statement, revenue. Okay? So, how are we doing for time? We got about half hour left. Good. It's about right. Questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts. Sir?
I actually do have questions. How do you get 60% exactly? 60 divided by 10?
By 100.
Oh, 100.
60 divided by 100. Okay, questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts? Yes, sir.
Under your per unit, what's the top portion for variable cost ratio? I get that it's variable cost, but then is that LL or per unit?
Per unit. This up here is supposed to read per unit.
Oh, below that.
VCU.
Okay.
That's supposed to be a U. Although I can see why you would think it might be two L's. Okay? Very good. Yes, sir.
In like the early periods of production, would it be possible to have variable costs that are greater than your revenue? If it's like an early period, how would that throw off the ratio?
This is an average. This is an average. I mean, life is, I'm clearly describing simple stuff, and I do so somewhat intentionally. And so this is an average. And these also, this assumes, this equality between these two assumes a company is making one product. If a company is making just one product, then these two ratios will always be the same. If they're making more than one product, then life gets more complicated. Okay? Any other questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts? Can you erase the board? And you all can turn the page to the CVP intuition. Okay? CVP intuition. Check that out. What page are we on? What page is that on? 54. Man, we are rolling right along. We're more than halfway to page 100. Wow. You're learning stuff. Isn't that exciting? It's only the second week of class.
I'm just not that great of a achievement when you have 426 pages.
The first week, we're 1/8 of the way through the book.
I'm not too excited. I'm share your enthusiasm.
Well, you know, for some reason, I'm not expecting you to share my enthusiasm at any time during the course of the semester.
To be fair, it wasn't as gratifying as 116. Now it's just becoming another birthday, to be honest.
That went over my head. My hair was not long enough to catch that one. Okay. So, CVP intuition. CVP is also known as what? Laura? I said it earlier today. Did you catch it?
I didn't even get the question. Oh, cost, volume, profit.
But it's also known as break even. There we are.
I thought you were looking for the word.
No. But as a team, you got everything. So what's true at break even? How much is income at break even? Samantha? Where's Samantha Cornell? How much? How much?
How much is income?
Yes. Yes. If you're breaking even, how much money are you making?
Nothing.
Bingo. Total revenue equals total cost. That's break even, right? But you all told me at the beginning of class today, is that what you thought a business should be doing? Negative. What should they be doing? Making moolah. That's an incredibly technical accounting jargon right there. Total revenue equals fixed cost plus variable cost plus operating income. And then I'm just going to expand this out because total revenue, teeter-totter, total revenue is calculated how, Erica? Where's Erica? How do you calculate it? From the teeter-totter. Remember the teeter-totter. How do we calculate revenue? What's SPU stand for? Perfect. Selling price per unit times volume. But I'm going to write SPU on the board. SPU times X equals fixed costs plus VCU times X plus operating income. Okay? Now, if you would, place a star by both of these in your notes, and we'll talk about them again next class period. Okay? Place a star. And now I am going to do algebra. Okay? I'm going to kind of lump these x's together, SPU x minus VCU x equals fixed costs plus operating income. And I want, because algebraically I want this x all by its lonesome, SPU minus VCU times x equals fixed costs plus operating income. So far so good. This is, thankfully this is the only time I do this all semester. I'm actually going to derive, algebraically, mathematically derive a formula. And therefore we can kind of put x all by its lonesome here. Fixed costs plus operating income over SPU minus VCU. And so we're going to go, poof, where do I want to put that? Voila! We've got ourselves a formula. And somebody in the front row, I think, speaks a little French. And the formula is, come on, there we go. Break even in units equals fixed costs plus operating income over contribution margin per unit. Break even in dollars equals fixed costs plus operating income over contribution margin ratio. Okay. So we just joyfully, which means with great joy, derived a formula algebraically. Just kind of talked our way through it, worked our way through it, got there. So we now have two formulas, which you do have to have memorized. Break even in units, break even in dollars, and that's dollars of revenue. So my break even in dollars is dollars of revenue, very specifically, okay? And units would be units sold. So far so good? Catch your breath, yes sir.
I don't understand what's this, going back to the equation here on the top left, is total revenue equals fixed cost, variable cost plus OI.
What's OI stand for? Is that your question?
No, I don't understand how you get your total revenue by adding up your fixed cost.
Well, this is just an income statement written out horizontally.
Are you subtract your expenses?
Yeah, but mathematically this will still be true. Total revenue minus